Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's recording in progress. So there, now that's recording. I don't want to make the video and it comes out blank.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can put it straight up on and share straight away. I'll have a look if I can share it straight away. There's more. I'll just check the share first. Hang on. More. And whiteboard apps, host tools. Share. There's share. Share screen options. Now let's just share screen. Share where to? Share Windows. Share Zoom. Share volume booster. Share. It doesn't say share to Facebook. Documents. Share to documents. Share to documents. No, I don't want it to go to documents. Share to screens. I don't want it to go through screens. Share to advanced. No, it's not going there. Share to sound. Share to no, that's share to documents. Docs. No, Google Drive. I'll just put share to Google Drive so it gets saved in Google Drive.
Yeah.
Google Drive. I don't want to make a good video and it's bloody not saved. But
Yeah.
it's recording to be stuck in Zoom recording. I'm just making sure it goes to Google Drive. I'll just write it down Google Drive. I'm just having a test run to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And I'm not worrying about the time or anything. I just want to make sure I can get a successful video and something at least that I can rattle off without making you fellas go to sleep. Where's my pens? Honey, where's my pens? I can't find a pen. I got one in my pocket, I think. I don't know where. Well, there's a pen. I got it. Google Drive. Google Drive. I got one. Saved. Okay, it's saved in Google Drive and it's recorded. Recording. I got one. Right. Connecting to Google Drive to Zoom. Okay, so that's connecting. Switch that off and I can carry on. Add channel. What's add channel? Hang on, I'll see what add channel is. Oh, there's Facebook. I'm going to go straight on Facebook or YouTube. Now, which am I going to put? I'll put it straight on Facebook. I'll put it on YouTube. I'll put it on YouTube. Oh, you cannot host systems which may affect your audio quality. Try closing some applications to improve. No, I won't worry about that. You cannot stream to this platform. Okay, it won't stream. Live streaming. Okay, it's live streaming. So there, it's live streaming. And that's okay. Where's my camera? What have I done with my camera? Hang on. Here. Okay, there. Put it on big. Right, there's big. There's 4 of you, 4 of us. And low system resources may affect your audio quality by try closing some things. Well, that's all right. It's okay. So you can hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, then that means it's recording all right.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, share. I won't worry about share. The camera is straight enough. Or I'll put it over there. Yes, that's better. So now, okay. So I'm going to start now. So you don't have to talk, or you can if you want to, but I'm just going to rattle through everything and get as much as I can on without wasting time. Have my water over there. And so I'm going to start the court hearing at the time being 3:46 p.m. on Saturday, 15th of February 2025. And today we are adding the second half of the court hearing, the Native Magistrate King's Bench court hearing we had at Tii Marae in front of the Taumata in the tent, the main tent, and it was cut short when the Taumata went over to the second tent. From our first tent was a Taumata and a home crew or home team, and they went over to look after the visitors or manihiri and left us there and said they'll come back afterwards. And after an hour, they said it's time to go for lunch. So we went for lunch and came back, and they never came back. And I only had about a quarter of an hour of a presentation that should have taken at least half an hour or up to an hour, or could have taken longer and longer than that. But I wanted to cut it short and make it quick so that it's easy to remember, because there were so much things to say. And we've got a book that's got 299 pages in it, and it covers everything of the court cases that we have. And we've got extra book with the writ warrants, 11 of them, signed by 4 of the federal government. That's us in the court that's running a separate government to the government of New Zealand under the Confederation of United Tribes flag, which is a federal flag, and we're making it federal for the first time to Britain, and they never got a federal government. They were hoping that it would happen in New Zealand with that King William IV flag, 1835 Declaration of War flag or Declaration of Independence flag, or at least it's a 1835 Constitution flag, and with 20 legal instruments in it to use, and we're going to just focus on its jurisdiction and what has happened at Waitangi with that flag. Okay, so what I wanted to say was we had court orders in these books, this one here with 11 single pages with writ warrants that were signed on the 6th of February 2025, and never got signed on the 3rd of February, which was the government's new 1835 Treaty of Waitangi Day, celebrations of their new Treaty of Waitangi flag ceremony for the annual celebrations of Waitangi Day. And they had a new flag of Cindy Kiro's for the second time and the second year running, that her flag with her crown on the flag and the blue background with a crown on it. And that flag flew last year and flew again this year as the gazetted flag of New Zealand that replaced the gazetted out Union Jack flag, the 1902 Union Jack flag, and gazetted out the 1835 Declaration of Independence flag. And but that's their jurisdiction and their unconstitutional government with no constitution, but a constitution with an act created by an act, the 1986 New Zealand Constitution is a constitution that legislated out the 1852 British Constitution. That was the Constitution for New Zealand, and they used an act to pass their 1986 Constitution, which really is not a real constitution and illegitimate, or not illegal, but illegitimate on the documents against our legal, legitimate 1835 King William IV flag that was given by King William IV to 13 native chiefs of Ngāpuhi. So there we're using that flag to its full potential as the federal flag, a jurisdiction over New Zealand to replace, and it's going to replace the new New Zealand flag of Sindikira, and she's the Governor General. And it's in here, this book here is the new order of the day and new legislative acts of the Freemasons Property Trust Act 1956 and amended Property Trust Act 2023 that changed the whole status of this country. And also we're using in that book of 299 pages, the Trump administration, the new president of the United States, or really the re-elected second term president of Donald J. Trump and his executive orders we are using in that book, as well as he is a Freemason and has the Freemason Property Trust Act on top of it, those two acts that we use in our jurisdiction of our flag on top of that to take to Britain. It's going there as far as Gregory and what I've seen of the text from Westminster Parliament, that the government in New Zealand has to pull down their flag and put up this flag and put it back where it was with King William IV and the 13 chiefs and us, the Confederation of United Tribes of Aotearoa New Zealand, and also our native magistrate King's Bench Court. Okay, so that's been confirmed from Westminster, and Westminster is reconstituting its constitution, and our flag gets raised in Britain, UK, or London, or Westminster Parliament as the partner, sticking to our defaulted contract on the British Crown, and Westminster Parliament has abandoned ship and gone into the EU Parliament. And now that they're going to reconstitute the Westminster Parliament because of this flag being a Constitution flag, 1835, it's made, or rather changed the minds of the British Crown and Westminster to reconstitute their constitution and put our flag up. So I've got on the phone to Scotland, to Sarah Sayles, and told her that our flag's going up in Westminster to watch out for it. So I'm going to talk to her again next week. And she said, give her a ring and we'll join up with her to recover the 17 trillion US dollars missing, and Edie Mitchell, the Mitchell Family Trust there in the Masons in Edinburgh, and the Masons here in Hamilton that was working with Edie Mitchell to take that 17 trillion from my company, Ngā Atua Iwa Aotearoa Limited, registered here in New Zealand in 2009 with the same accountants, Dun and Bradstreet, accountants for the New Zealand Crown Government, Queen and Right of New Zealand, and now it's the Crown Sovereign of New Zealand Company, new name and new directors, and using the same accountants as Eddie Mitchell and his Mitchell Family Trust are using the same accountants I first started before him in 2009 and registered with Dun and Bradstreet, and that's a conflict of interest of the three using the same accountant, and some discrepancies in the way the accountants have diddled, or rather they've money laundered 17 trillion leased land of 201 years over New Zealand native land title under the Manukau land deeds. Okay, so that's another story we can go over another day. In the meantime, I wanted to let you know that the meeting we had at Waitangi, or rather supposed to be a court hearing, is now finishing off online as being really the jurisdiction completed on Tii Marae grounds and on Waitangi grounds. The title of the native title there is being in question and liable to be forfeited back into our jurisdiction and ownership. Okay, once the flag goes up on the treaty grounds, and that's the end of Sendikiro and her flag, the jurisdiction. They have to, by order of Westminster Parliament, by the text I saw, that they ordered from the Crown in Westminster Parliament, government has ordered the New Zealand government to reinstate the King William IV Constitution flag and also the declaration flag of the ownership of the land and its legal status as the jurisdiction over this country. And a partnership to Britain was and still is a defaulted contract because the Queen took off into Scotland and left the place high and dry. But at the moment, there is only one trustee, that's Queen Sophia of Spain, and the Queen Elizabeth sacked Prince Andrew, and the King died in Spain. So there's three of them gone, and only Sophia in Spain. So some of the wealth from the Crown Corporation business, assets, and legal inheritance has gone to Spain. So I'm putting a 970 million trillion pound note, that's a 2-bar pound note of Patterson, over all the money that's missing, stolen, considered to be stolen from the King's bench court and King's Emperor's crown, continuity of sovereignty to King William III and his Bank of England Act 1694 and his 2-bar pound note Act 1694 and his Bill of Rights Act 1689 and his Constitution Act 1689, that we're using his authority and jurisdiction to recover the debt as the Lord Treasurer, and the recovery of the debt is the debt management authority and recovery systems to recover the debt that's owed to us. And the fraud pound note, the 1-bar pound note, was actually fraud from the start because it never got a patent, like the 2-bar pound note got patented by King William III of Orange, and he didn't give the patent to the 1-bar pound note of Rothschilds. So our point there is to use and question the fraudulent Queen Victoria from at least 1837 onwards. It's been fraud with that and the fiat money dollar currency in the US dollar, and its fiat currency and also its crypto is going to be tainted. It's tainted money currency, and that's what we're holding them against, being criminal organizations running that cartel. And that's what Trump is doing now, uncovering all the fraud and corruption of the system of the American federal government and Biden and Democrats. And so he's doing all the work for us to clear the way for us with the swamp rats. And we're using his policies of the executive orders to recover the debt here against the swamp rats. I'm going to give you a line of names of court list. On normal court says there is a list of prosecuted people, and they've been prosecuted way back and gone over the 6-year limitation act. And so we're issuing the list of those past and present and putting them in a new date today, 25th of 15th of February 2025, as all the affidavits, the written affidavit documents and video affidavits, right back through the years at least to 2000, the year 2000 or 1985, when Moai Manukau put the Confederation of United Tribes together in Helensville, and the wooden Confederation flag you see there is the same likeness as the flag that's flying at Waitangi's treaty grounds. It's the same flag with the black line of Satan through the small cross as the protectorate of the British Crown that will be reinstated when the Constitution of Britain has been reinstated, and our flag is flying there in Britain as the federal government of Britain and also the federal government of New Zealand. That's why the government put the flag over here with the chiefs, the 13 chiefs of Ngāpuhi, and for the native surname DNA chiefs and not mischiefs with mixed up Maori names, that we are going to have a legal DNA test on everyone joining the Native Magistrate Court as registry. Your mobile phone number replaces your birth certificate. Value is $1 million US. Value of your birth certificate at the present is your sovereignty. Okay, the value of your birth certificate is your sovereign value, and the sovereignty is held by the King or Queen of Britain, UK, and not the Queen and King of England. Okay, so we've got a bit of status change going on here with our flag is being verified and shown to me by Gregory Cook, and also his Home Guard staff have showed me the text from Westminster confirming for the record that our 1835 Confederation of the United Tribes flag of Britain, it's a British flag, is going to be raised up in Waitangi forever, okay, as the legitimate and legal flag of New Zealand Aotea country. Okay, so that's going up as soon as possible, as soon as they gazette it back up and gazette Cindy Kiro's foreign company, private company, fake flag down off a British ship that was putting a Japanese Maori flag up on a British ship, which is wrong. It's politically wrong. It's businessly wrong. It is culturally wrong. It is tribally wrong. It is masonry wrong. That's Freemasons I'm talking about. Wrong. It's legally wrong. So it's really fraudulent. Everything that Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth has done with the Rothschild family inbreeding has been fraudulent all the way. That's why they got a green pound note on their heads. £1 trillion apiece. Okay, that's for every mobile phone number. That's your mobile phone number. That most people, everybody has got a mobile phone number. It is now a debt on your head of $1 trillion if you're not a registered Native Magistrate Court bank creditor. Okay, creditors, bank, debtors in that bank. On the other side, Biden is in Waitangi Treaty of Waitangi grounds and the Marae, and Trump is in the Tii Marae. I'm just telling you the difference. The woke people are on the other side, and the woke, unwoke, sleepy people on this side in Tii Marae that were asleep when I was there, standing there with a bag full of trillions of cash. And I'm going to say to you that it was a pity that no one bothered to bail me up and ask me a lot of questions about what I'm doing online with our team here as the federal state government of Aotea, New Zealand, fixed in our own statute or law of kings, emperors, unbroken sovereignty or continuity of sovereignty to King Solomon, 1066 AD, to King William III of Orange, Dutchman, to King William IV, German, and to King Ernest Augustus IV, German, and also King Ernest Augustus I, German, and King George IV, German. Okay, so there, that's the lineup. Dutch to German, and French is Augustus French, and our king of our documents is King Ernest Augustus the Fifth, the French German, and his son is more French, and on his mother's side. So there, that's the lineup. Our monarch is still alive. King Ernest Augustus V is still alive, living in London, about 75 years old, and he is our monarch to go on the throne when I go back to England. You'll see the videos I put up online today with me in London, and went there to put the flag up. I'm going back to put the flag up. I'm going to put it up as the paramount chief of Mohi Manukau. Okay, the British gave Mohi Manukau the native title lease, head lease, to him, and his ancestor Rewharewha Manukau was the 1856 Native Land Act, 1862 New Zealand Native Land Act. That is Rewharewha Manukau's native land title from Waiku on the east coast, where Waikato heads across Pukekohe, Bombay Hills, and across to Cleveland to Marae Beach on the east coast to the west coast. All that land was his title, transferred through to the British Crown, and Clendon did all that. Okay, and Clendon went down to the East Cape to do the birth certificates with Robert Carr's family was looking after the Bible, the Church of England, and also Bishop Wanoa was looking after it as well. Reverend Wanoa, sorry. Bishop Carr and Reverend Wanoa took care of that in 1830. There was people here before 1830. In 1820, there was Chinese and there was Portuguese, and also Americans and Chinese were here in the 1820s. So there's a bit of discrepancies in the history of what has happened, but we're only sticking to the commercial side. The money side and the corporation started with King William III, and the money transfer from native land to British Crown ownership of the paper title. Okay, just the paper title, not the land. The landowners are the native-born people of the land, the people at the time, and not necessarily Maori, but people living on the land had the right to the land, and could be any culture, but that means there was 55% British or European, are still 55%, and only 15% of native left, or they call themselves Maori. So there's only a representative of 15% Maori and more or less 15% Chinese and 15% Pacific Island. And the rest is other scatterings of Indian, a lot of Indian and American and so forth, Scandinavian. Lots of people, not Britain people, are down the Southland where I'm going. It's a lot of British people. So I'll be in my comfort zone down in Southland, Fiordland. There's a lot of British people to work with, and I'm going to get a bank manager there, an accountant there, and skilled people. That's where Jason Hogarth comes from in Manapuri, up next to Te Anau. I'm getting used to looking at the sights there and big fat crayfish and kinners. So it suits me to be diving once again. He's a diver, he's a engineer, he's a skipper on a boat, and he's a very good communicator. And I met him just like that and clicked when he said dive. And that suits me down to the ground. So there, fix that lot up, and I'll go there and work the business and get a good feed at the same time, have a little swim in my big swimming pool in the sea where I want to be. Much safer there than on boat. Much safer there than at Hui's, because you get too much slammed in the head at a Hui, and down here you get lots of wild animals in the bush and creepy crawlies flying around in the beach. Okay, so there, that's that. It looks quite exciting to go down there to have the tidal turbine bridge go, and I'm hoping that'll join the, we will join the bluff to the Stewart Island to power up Tiwai Point smelter, and also at least half of the South Island with one bridge. If it's not enough power, we just make the bridge longer. The longer it goes, the more power. So it's 4 kilometres long, 60 metres, 100 metres wide, and should put out at least 3.5 for 4,000, 5,000 megawatts. Okay, megawatts. 5,000 megawatts. Okay, should put out on that length of bridge. And if you join the South Island to the North Island in Cook Strait, you'll make more power there. So bridge across, and so there's plenty of scope for that. And we're just working on the figures, me and Jason, on tidal shifts, and he already knows what's underneath the water. And in the Oak Strait, that's where we're going to put the tidal turbine bridge. And it's very exciting to do that with them down there and skill people that can help to put it together with the Chinese. The Chinese will put it up in no time. Okay, so that's our future of every square inch. And in Helensville, Awaroa Bank, Awaroa Native Magistrate Court Bank, that's where the 10-acre block was put together to mortgage that piece of big land down into smaller blocks, mortgageable pieces, about 2,500 square meters each square, out of all the 10 square acres. And you took 10 square acres and put that 10 square acres all over New Zealand, and now the seabed. 10 square acres in the seabed and right around the world from that model. Okay, so that's what we're looking at from Awaroa Native Magistrate King's Bench Court. So there, that is our jurisdiction. That is our plan. That was a 2012 business plan of the tidal turbine project with Moai Manukau in the Kaipara, and I can still put that bridge in there as well at some stage, but I won't do that. I'll put 2 in North Island, 1 in Manukau Heads, off the Manukau Heads, and 1 probably off the East Cape on Ranfurly Bank, where I wanted to go in the first place, and go ahead with 2 in the North Island and 2 in the South Island. Should be enough to power the whole place. That's to take away the bridges, the dams, and blow them up and let the fish go back up. The trout and the salmon go right up the river and clean all the tutai and greenhouse gases and the mud and the sludge at the bottom of the dams. That was a warning from the government and the environmental system to the dams and all the power stations all the way up the Waikato River to Lake Taupo. I did all the research on that, why the tidal turbines in the sea will replace all that power, replace all the solar panels, replace all the windmills and everything that's aesthetically not pleasing to look at. Okay, it'll replace, it's out of sight, out of mind. Under the sea, where the grunt is in the bottom as hydraulic power, torque at the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so we're using that power to split the water into electricity, then use all the electricity, 100% of it, to split the water into liquid hydrogen and solid metal hydrogen for jets, for rockets, and liquid hydrogen for airplanes, and bulk energy to power homes and everything like airplanes and ships and whatever, and clean water to drink from the resultant waste product from the power generation is clean water and bottled it of another product. Okay, so that's that. Anyway, this was supposed to be a court hearing. I'm just giving you a bit of a background of us, the four of us, me, John Hawani Kāki Wanoa, and Brian Workman, and Rapataka, and Pare Rivers from Whakatane, and Brian Workman from Omanaya. That's up north of Kaikoi, and very good man to heal you with his frequency healing, and also a good communicator for us, as well as a good Ngāpuhi person to keep things in line with tradition and not so much contemporary history. It's the traditional stuff we like with the British and all the European people that came here to see opportunity. So we're sharing all the opportunity on those little square pieces of land and find out the value of each little square piece. So I'm looking at the Fieldlands and Southland to see how much the squares are worth and the value. I'll let you know how that's going to work out between me and Jason Hogarth. We'll work out every square inch of the bush. We'll make that work, and every square inch of the seabed between up in Haast, down around the bottom to Bluff, and to around Stewart Island, and around Auckland Island, and around Chatham Islands. So there's going to be lots to do there, exciting stuff to share the knowledge. And I think there's lots of people with knowledge around down there, and all those people there that like heavily investing in good ideas and projects. So there's going to be a lot going on for engineers and also technology people, and also, dare I say it, robots that are going to do all the work. You can have a bridge. It takes 35,000 people on one bridge, 4 stories high, an airport on top, international airport, and you can put 35,000 robots at 20,000 each, or you can put 20,000 lazy people on there that have to go to sleep at night and eat in the morning and night and noon, and the robot don't have to eat. He can work 24 hours a day and not argue. So I don't know how much he'll argue and talk a different language and do the haka. I don't know if the robots are going to learn how to do that and change the culture of people. So there's a new culture. So that's exciting. I'd love to see that. I'd like to see how much they can get done in the restaurant and see if they can scuba dive. I see the robot can scuba dive and pick the killers up without me getting prickles in my hair, and picking up the crayfish without getting bitten. Okay, try and bite a steel hand. So I'm going to see if they'll work. Okay, that's a project. See if a robot can dive and bring up a crayfish. I'll be surprised. Jason, you better see if a robot can pick a crayfish up, mate. You'll be out of a job. He'll drive your ship too. Yeah, that's good. And he's only 20,000 a year. That's to buy him. He don't have to pay after that. And how much for someone that's going to do the same job? 100,000 plus. The robot, no wages, no wages. You just give him a new battery for lunch.
And an oil change.
Just go around with a spray bomb and lubricate it. Huh?
You keep up the oil changes.
Yeah, no gout, no gout. And he won't eat all your kinners. So So if you're lucky, this robot can have lunch,
Yeah.
give you lunch, and he doesn't have to have lunch and go to the toilet and waste
Yeah.
business time going and having a smoke. No, no, he doesn't.
Right.
So anyway, I like to see a robot working with us. Go get my breakfast with me and make my cup of tea. So there,
Right.
right. Well, let's get into business. So I'm just going to read a couple of things before I rattle off the list, the court list, and I'm going to say Zoom court hearing today, 67, number 67, and we'll be putting up online soon for everybody to see what should have transpired in Tii Marae and Waitangi Marae, and what's going to happen when the flag goes up and on Waitangi Treaty grounds. What is the Waitangi Treaty, Waitangi Day going to be next year? What is it? Who's going to run the Treaty of Waitangi next year? I can tell you what. Once the flag goes up, the ownership status changes. Boom. Just like that. Their ownership status will change back to the original people on the land. Okay, just once again, it will go back to the original people of the land that's born on the land. First, the ones that were there first, that's any culture that was on the land and helped to make the economy, helped to look after the land, and helped to keep the families together. And what we've seen all these years, 187 years, is family division, because it was a one-man band and one rich one and all the rest poor. So we're going to have our philosophy to make sure the wealth is split. Okay, we've got 17 trillion outstanding and stolen, and we're going to get that back. We're going to next week. I'm hoping that Greg is ready to go and do the honours of the court. And he said it'll be about now that he would be ready to do it, now that the Treaty of Waitangi is finished, and getting ready to do the next part of the process of the court, is that to carry out the orders of the court. That is to arrest the two owners on Cook Street for the fraud with John Key and Eddie Mitchell for stealing 17 trillion off me that belongs to you, the landowners I'm talking about, the native born on the land landowners. The government of England, they've only got the piece of paper lease of the land right through the world, native land, and not the ownership of the land. The physical land is occupied by all those 10-acre squares. Okay, it's all broken up into 10-acre lots right through the world from Helensville. If you look at it simply, that's all it is. It's being done methodically and physically cleverly by the Freemasons. They are the men with the brains. They are a club and without a Bible, without religion, and only concentrate on business. So if anybody knocks them around, they are knocking the business in the head, not a culture, not a family, but the business. Okay, that's all it is. The boss is a 33-degree Mason. That means he's running all corporations in the world, all incorporations in the world, all businesses in the world from Westminster Parliament on England's sovereign soil land. Okay? If you say you are sovereign citizen, that means you are worth $1 million US. If you can get that back out of them, good luck. But if you can't, it's used on the stock market to roll over at least 10 times every time they flip it over in the bank. Okay, the bank makes 10 times as much as you deposit. That's what the banks are there for, to pick up the interest on lending out your money and making 9% or 10% out of your $1. Okay, make $10 out of your $1. And that's how they do it. They just keep multiplying it and multiplying it. So that's another issue because we are replacing the 1 million with 1 trillion. Okay. The chip coin is starting out at 1 trillion on each birth certificate. That's one portfolio. Somebody's going to look after that portfolio. I'm splitting out 87 portfolios, one for each Facebook site. If you look at the sites, there's only 2 that I'm operating. The rest are there sitting there and all ready to go with one person. So the Moai Federal State State Federal Republic Government of Aotearoa, New Zealand has 87 portfolio holders for life. If you're a fisheries portfolio a commissioner of fisheries, you're there for life. And so we're fixing one person, could be from anywhere in the world, with the right credentials to take the job on here in Fiordland, right, where it's nice and calm and tranquil and really a place to settle in and think in the quiet bush. Okay, that's why I'm going there. It's a place you can think. You can hear the sounds of the sounds and quietness and waves and everything, birds and all of that, where nobody is living. And they only need to go there for holiday. So to get there, you have to go on a ferry or fly in. So we've got some equipment to purchase on the equity of what's stolen against the mortgage land. And I'm putting all the mortgage lands together next week with my crew and find a bank manager, preferably a British family of retired people or someone younger that's learning the ropes of banking in the Southland area. So they're not far away. We want to all be in the same backyard and then hook them up with their original family in England soil land or Scotland soil land or Ireland soil land or Wales soil land. They're all living over here somewhere in the country. So there we just hook onto them and make them do due diligence with us and follow protocol of what a new look golden era looks like and make it work for us all and make the shares in-house private, not on the stock market. We don't gamble. That's one of the rules in this court. No gambling and nobody loses. We're all winners and not losers. So that's that. I'll just run quickly through this number 1 to number 4, and we'll go down to put the jacket on. I'll get my black jacket and I'll give you a demo of what is happening. Where I wanted to do this in Waitangi was to put my jacket on. This is a Freemason's jacket I'm putting on. And Carla put on a yellow jacket, yellow vest jacket. And so I'm doing this. The land is down there with the money in the bag. That's the 17 trillion down there. I take my coat off, which is the Freemason's coat, put it over the money and the land. And what we're doing here is taking the jacket out of the way, throw it out of the way. And there's the money there. And then the land is underneath it. And that's all it is. That's all it is. And then you see the square acres down underneath on the land. And that's how it works. Money or the bag. And that's that. Okay? Just a simple explanation of how the money is separated from the land and from you, the one that's going to control the money and the land. See, no fighting, no more fighting. Mason's Grand Lodge, craft. That's a craft. The art of doing business is called craft. And that's what we're doing. We're constructing a craft of knowledge from the Mason's Grand Lodge jurisdiction, which is equivalent, and the meaning means the King's Privy Council in our native Magistrate King's Bench Court. So there we go. We've got the same meaning but a mirror image of the Freemasons here with me as the real live person, not dead. And our video, lips moving, is live video, affidavit. Okay? Whatever I say on my 2 feet, and I'm going to tell you this is what it is. In this book, with these single warrants, I've written on the back because I ran out of space to type and just wrote it on the back of the 1-page writ warrant that Greg has to take out to seize property with a lien warrant, okay? Not Jenny's warrant to go and seize things because she doesn't have a higher authority jurisdiction. So she has to go past this landowner first. If you've got a writ warrant of your own, you must have the land ownership. Because if you get this writ warrant on your head and it says you are removed from the land, you can't practice any law or jurisdiction over a land that's got a title on it, a native title. Okay, so I'm going to say this. I wrote over here, see on the back? See the signatures there? I'll just show you the signatures of Pare Rivers, Robert Carp, Brian Workman, and what's your name? Wiramu.
Hey.
Okay, so that's all. We've got 5 signatories. That's all it takes to make this document work. So there's 11 of these single documents, and also the book is about 12 signatures in that book with the same 5 people. That's all it takes. 4 for the organization of the Confederation of United Tribes federal government. And because Britain's got no federal government, that's a king's government. And the government there is a Queen's historic contemporary history government. And we've got the traditional history. That means the Eshkiat, original history of a continuity of sovereignty, unbroken connection to William the Conqueror and King William III, that got you on the land with the 10 square meters, 10 square acres of land, and King William IV and King George IV, and also King Ernest Augustus I. And that jurisdiction of king to king to king to king, and down to us, the kings, surrogate to talk, king talk. Okay, so here it goes. I wrote this. I say this. This replaces a lawyer or a judge or a politician. You say this. I am my own competent witness as the Crown Sovereign, King's Bench Court, Privy Council, High Court, sanctioned by the Taumata of Tii Marae, dated 6th of February 2025. That's what I wrote. I didn't type it. I wrote it because I didn't have time to type it. So yeah, that's that. And it's got on the bottom of every page of the book, here, the 299-page book, it's got this. I'm just going to read it. Moai, title, energy, world, co-op, pound, note, gold, water, money, currency, patent, shares, UK, New Zealand, trademark, contract. 1694, King William III Bank of England Act, 2 bar pound note Act, 1694, and it's got 978 million trillion liquid cash, mortgage lien, debt recovery, writ warrant, public served international video affidavit notice instruments on every single page in here. So when you open this up online and you read it, you're given notice. Everyone, the politicians, when I send it to politicians on Monday, that's what's going to happen. When they read it, they're liable for that big green mortgage in the book. Okay? So you're automatically put into a headlock contract. You see? And it's this pound note in here. Where is it? Here. This one with Ernest Augustus. Okay, Ernest Augustus the fifth. He's still alive. He's alive to put his face on here he's wearing a 8-point star to pick up the rent on the land on the 10 square acres of land, every 10 square acres in New Zealand and the whole world. That's what that greenback pound note is. And we're going to print it as soon as I get the letter of confirmation that the flag's going up on Waitangi Treaty grounds, and in Westminster it's going up there as well. So this kicks in and start printing money as instruments. You see? So that's how that works. We're just making this certain that anybody that plays around with these instruments and tries to adopt them will get this hanging rope. That's what Trump said. He said that, not me. He said he's got the death warrant for anybody who causes treason. So right away, there's treason in New Zealand in the politicians. All the policies are laden with treason. And that's on Jacinda Ardern here. I'm going to read their names out soon. And Chris Hipkins, he said, it's you chose. It's your choices to have the jab. And he's the one that made you mandated to get the jab. Otherwise, you lost your job. See? And here is Schultz saying, I know nothing. See? That's what they say. I know nothing, but take it anyway. I want to force you out of existence. And Jacinda, what she said was, you won't get to the movies, you won't fly, you won't go, and all your privileges are gone. This one is going to get that. That's what Trump said, not what I said. I'm just using his executive orders to give you this for what she said. In front of her, there was a smiley face. And where's that smiley face? Ran away. They all ran away like John Key, ran away. Well, Gregory, you'll have to go and get them and pull them into the court and chuck them into Guantanamo Bay. That's where Trump is going to send all those immigrants that got into the country with a kid's passport. A 16-year-old kid is a 40-year-old grown-up. See? And Trump going to block the holes up or open the whole can of worms to why Biden and his lot of swamp rats opened the border up when he wanted to shut the border from people coming in and acting as though they're babies, and they all got fake passports and fake IDs. So everyone that comes into a native court to get their mobile phone registered for the £1 trillion equity value sovereignty is going to have a DNA test to make sure, just like Trump was saying. He said it, not me. An ID check to make sure you match your words that come out of your mouth and match you, as I said, your own competent witness on your own 2 feet, saying who you are, where you came from, and where are you going to, and do you need a place to stay? See, just like that. You'll find the people on the street will waltz in and get some help. Okay, so there are a lot of people that have been thrown out in the open, and those rich people, elite, are raking the money in and throwing you in the street and bringing immigrants in to take your place. So now they got robots coming in to replace you as well. So those are some things that we are facing today that are overlooked. And our group here is overseers to make sure what we say stick to our philosophy and our principles and our integrity kept intact. Okay? We want to keep honest, like what Trump is saying, transparency and openness, truth, and we will get somewhere out of the trouble we're in. Okay? So there, King's Privy Council, they're big words. That means the Freemasons' grand lodge. Okay, there, same meaning, different words. And that's what we're adopting here as organized business. I'm going to put the 2012 business plan of the tidal turbine and the aquafarms on the site for developing the resources, and put it also on the construction building site that Jason is looking after, all that lot, and the ships and all the equipment from China that's coming in the container ships and the cargo ships. We're going to purchase those to save the port costs, and no port costs. It comes straight in to the sounds and straight into our harbour sheltered places, and we can set up and put tin can buildings in the bush straight above the trees, and skinny buildings. Don't cut no tree, and just make foot tracks on under the trees and walk on walkways above the trees, and people can come there and live in the bush in beautiful scenery and nice food to eat by the local people that can be spread in the bush all over, and also on the sea. We're going to build a big construction in buildings on the sea, and also the skyline building is skyscrapers going sideways instead of going up. It's going to go long ways on the bridge. 4 stories high is a 4-story high, or more story high, 4 kilometers high building going up, skyscraper going up 4 kilometers. Imagine that, going sideways on the bridge. 4 kilometers that way is 4 kilometers up. See, that's higher than the highest building. And so it goes the other way, 4 stories high. So that means 4 skyline buildings, sky-high buildings, going horizontal. Okay, so there, just to give you an idea that we can get a lot of space in the sea land than the land. Okay, so there, every square inch is mapped out with NIWA. We're going along with the government. We're going to follow the government rules here and modify them on the way through, so that nobody should lose their jobs. We just change the driver in their policies and chuck their policies out like Trump did. Chuck their policies out when the flag goes up, out goes their policies, the bad ones. And Mr. St. Jones will be sitting on the rocks with a little fishing line, and that's what he's going to get. Okay, and he's going to be walking more so than raking the money in for his own pocket. Those sort of people we can do something with in this flag going up. Okay, so lots of things will change. It can't be Mickey Mouse. It's not going to be Mickey Mouse. That's why I've gone with the Freemasons. I'm not a Freemason, but I'm using the Freemason tactics and mirror them into us. I'm mirroring them and making that work for us. Okay? I don't think they mind, so long as you know what you're doing with it and don't abuse it. We're not going to abuse it. We're going to use it methodically and to the benefit of everybody. Okay? So there, that's Donald Trump with us, and we've got the Freemasons with us. He's a Freemason, and so we'll just go along with them and play the same game. Okay, so we're going to have Hitarangi. I'm just going to say, these are the people going from New Zealand to Westminster with me. And so I put the videos of them with me over there, and those English people flying the flag over there. See, they knew I was there for the reason of freedom with the flag. So I'm going back to finish my job off that they threw me out of the country and deported me and dropped me into Hong Kong and find my own way home. And that was not right to them to do that. So there's another bill on the head for doing that, and another bill for throwing me in the mental home, and those police They put me there. And all those doctors in Middlemore Hospital, they jab me up with the schizophrenic stuff to make me stupid when they're the stupid ones. Okay? They're stupid people, not me. I just have to do something to fix it up. So we'll have Brian Workman, Jason Hoggard. He's going to go with me because we're planning things all the way around, wherever we go. And Robert Carr and Paulette Rivers and Alex Heke or Alex Kete, if he's going to come, then he'll come. And that's just the crew that we have a little close relationship going at the moment, and to be quite normal people for me to get on with, not too clever people who know too much. And I find it very peaceful to have someone I can talk to and communicate on a us level, not a me level. So I've got to stop calling me I and me and everything that, although I did it all. But never mind, we'll just have people delegated to do things, and then we'll get somewhere if I get out of the way and let people do things, so long as we are overseeing the experts at the job. So there. Then from Rapa Nui, we got Santi Hitarangi. That's my other half of my whakapapa, or my bloodline, Hitarangi. And he'll have a crew of about 6 to go to England for his Moai statue standing there. And we'll fly to where all the Moai statues are. There's one in Dunedin with a crown on his head. That's the one I'm using for myself down there in South Island, Southland. I used that authority to the Moai statue in London that Queen Victoria stole. So she's a thief that's going to have to pay for all that damage of stealing. You never steal. We don't steal, so why steal? So you have to pay for that. I'm sorry, Queen Victoria and your bloodline people and your monarch and your followers. There's a lot of followers for that. But you get the bill of 970 million, trillion pound note spread amongst you, at least 1 billion people out of 8 billion people. So 7 billion people should really automatically come into the native court and be normal and fix the problem up. Okay, so there's plenty to go around, and you just have to get them sorted out one at a time. First starts with us. When we get our backyard right, then the next one will be England, and then Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and then India and China and all the rest of them after that. Okay, so it's going to be like that. No, 257 countries, and we just haven't started yet. We're just getting this start. And I'm going to go to England to put the flag up, because that's my 50 years of contribution to be the one to go from here for Mohi Manukau and all the other chiefs in New Zealand that helped to try and get their land back, but it's still there. And all you have to do is change the bus driver and stick somebody else in there to run it. And you'd be right after that. If you clean the swamp rats, I've got a big long list of swamp rats, and I put contractors on. It'd be too much for Gregory to handle every swamp rat. And we can get somebody that's skilled to go around with swamp rat on their door, the badge, the 8-point star badge, swamp rat beside it, and sheriff, okay? Grand Sheriff from the Grand Sheriff Court. Yeah, order. The order's in this 11-page book. We'll go and take that order and go around and seize the rest of properties before they make an exit out of the country. So block them off at the border and check their IDs before they go and ask them, where did you get that money from? Where'd you get the money from, Eddie Mitchell? Tell us how you got it. So there's drug money running around the place. And you'll find it because Trump started that off. He started a trend. And so we're going to pick the trend up and run with it. So this here, I've got to this part. And hang on, I'll go to this one. Okay. Home Guard to look after the home. They're going to look after New Zealand and its borders, and more so than coming to England to look after us. We are going to have the Air Force, military, to look after us and come and pick us up on their plane and fly everywhere around the world on the debt that they owe us. The debt that they owe us, and they're a second partner now to us, the first partner, the ownership of the Crown and the Freemason that I'm using their symbols on our document. Every page has got the Freemasons motto on it, or their seal. Their seals on it to make sure we are following a beautiful business plan.
Yeah.
So the Home Guard can look after and be financed by us, the federal government will take care of that, and the people that need help the most, that they can look after all the people that are homeless and the people that are having struggling in sleeping in cars and all that sort of. They can look after them, because I've seen that in Waitangi where some kid got left walking around, but anyway, they can have a budget to look after that and to finance their operation. Just another business that has to run a business properly, because that will be overlooked by experts that we have contracted on high salary for looking after the country here from the British military. Okay, we're going to make sure the British military comes here under the Confederation of the United Tribes flag of Helensville, not anywhere else, because that's the authority I'm going on, the Freemasons in Helensville and the Manukau title to Britain. It's a British flag and a British jurisdiction and nothing else. The whakamininga stays up there in Waitangi, and a budget for that as well. So they'll get budget from the federal government bank, the Moai Powerhouse Bank. I'm going on to that next. Set that up. 87 sites. I've got to go through that by myself, or me and somebody to take it off my hands. So I have to look for 87 people with brains of Freemason style, right on track. Robots' brains too. Okay, so someone that can do the job and I can walk away and know that it's getting done. So their government is a government partnership to Britain. Our government is a partner to Britain, UK, King and Augustus V, as I have promoted him since 2009, start of business and websites. I registered the business in 2009 in England and here. Okay, there's one business there, Moai Powerhouse Group Limited, and that's the one that I'm going to set up there for those people living there. These are the court lists. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the court list that's on trial today. Out of all the trials right through the years, they are listed behind these ones. So I'm picking up all the photos that are on my website all the way back on all those websites that you see. If your photo's in there, you've got a problem with this court, because you're going to have to come and try and defend yourself, and your absence is acquiescence to being guilty. You're guilty as charged until not proven innocent. Guilty until proven innocent. Very difficult to prove innocent. Okay, number one is on the court list today is Eddie Mitchell of Hamilton. Okay, he's got 17 trillion stolen, plus the recovery debt of all his properties in New Zealand and Australia. 17 trillion worth of properties he ran off with my company, Ngā Atua Wa Aotearoa Limited. That's what it's worth, 17 trillion. And the proof is there on the company's office in Australia, and go to what is it? That Company's House in Australia site, and have a look. Mitchell Family Trust has 303 companies that he spent 17 trillion on and paid lawyers as proxy to the dates that when it was registered. It was registered last year or year before and made that much with money. He can't prove how he earned it and where he got it from and what was it for? Who was it for? What is 17 trillion for? It's for his own pocket. Okay, so that's not right. That money belongs to the native-born people on the land of New Zealand. Okay, it's going back to the rightful owners, and its profits are 38 trillion from 17 trillion next year, and that's split. The profit split for the 257 countries in the world. It's split, and all those countries will be kicked off with a native title. Okay, they'll all come under the same 10-acre block. Right, it's going right through the world on 10 acres in Helensville, and the BNZ Bank came from there, and the Awaroa Native Bank. Okay, the Awaroa Bank. We got the Akaroa Bank in Akaroa, South Island. That's the New Zealand Reserve Bank, and the Reserve is the bank from Akaroa, and ours is the bank that goes straight to Westminster, and that's the one that we're going on, that Awaroa Bank that went to the League of Nations and then went to the BNZ, then the League of Nations. Muldoon bankrupted it, and the 1933 Bankruptcy Act bankrupted America right there on Mount Eden Hill here, and it went to the United Nations, and then it went to the World Bank, where those BlackRock and all those fellows are hanging around there with Rosie Rios, the CEO of the federal government. Okay, the federal government bank. Okay, so she's the one in charge of that, and says she's the richest person in the world. No, it's Eddie Mitchell, the Maori boy, that's in the world, corporate. She's not the richest. He's the richest, because with the profit on top of it, it just balloons right out. Okay, I'm learning the mistakes of Eddie Mitchell, and to my advantage, and the people I give it back to, because I didn't need it where I'm going to my everlasting place up somewhere in the sea. Okay, so there, that's that. So number one, Eddie Mitchell, and he's got the trillions on his head plus, and then that's him. And number two is Cindy Kiro of Ngāti Hine, the Maori Japanese with the Maori Japanese flag. That her flag is coming down, and she's going out into the sea and into Guantanamo Bay, court order to lock her up forever. Okay, that's the second one getting locked up. Eddie's the first one getting locked up, and Gregory Cook has to go and pick them up next week. Okay, that's an order from us, and I want him to act on it from this court hearing today. Okay, Gregory, that's an order from the court to carry out that contract, and we'll give you that time to do it and get your head around that. And once you get confirmation to us of the flag going up on treaty grounds, then I can use that instrument to go into the Freemasons in Scotland to get a lien on the 17 trillion to kick us off. Okay, I'll just get overdraft. I know how that works in my business, overdraft, and that'll kick everything off and start paying salary for contracts. Okay, contracts, and Gregory there needs to be more contractors to go and click the dead people up. Okay, there's a lot of millionaires down South Island that are going to run away. They're going to run away when they see their flag going up in Waitangi. They're going to run for the hills because there's no more Biden business anymore. And so we're going to get more contractors. Once Gregory kicks off, I'm going to put these contracts here, out to more contractors to go and collect the debt and knock every door in the country, every single door and every port of exit out of here to catch them at the shipping ports and the airports and anywhere they're going to get and escape out and seize their property, seize their money, seize everything, then lock them up and deport them back to where they come from. Okay, that's our law today. Passing, if you don't refute this book today, because you've had plenty of time, it's been online for over 3 weeks, and it's repeating itself. It's repeating and repeating and repeating itself. It's been out there, put it out there already before Christmas. And it doesn't matter of waiting 3 times. 3 strikes and you're out here, 1 strike and you're out on a King's Bench Court. Okay, if you got a King's Bench Court with the original court of law record, then it stands in law. First in line, first in law. Okay, first in line, first in law. Best in law, best documents. Okay, that's how it works. Best dressed documents. Okay, let the documents do the work. Let the flag do the work. And let the people go and recover the debt that's owed. Same as anybody that defaults. There's a lot of defaults in here of people who say nothing. That's Cook Street. Say nothing. You know how many times they've been served notice? Ran out. And Greg has been there at least 2 times. 3rd time, 3rd strike, lucky. Okay, he's going to go in there and seize Cook Street. You know what's going up on there? 420-story building going straight up because the builder in China is waiting for $2 billion deposit. Now it'll be $4 billion deposit for a $10 billion project. That's $10 billion. The bridge is $55 billion. Now it's $70 billion for the same bridge. Okay, multiply that by 60 in the Pacific alone, let alone the Chinese putting them up and spreading them all over the world. Once they see one go up, boom, it's gone. And you hop from one to the other. Fill up with hydrogen, take off. Fill up with hydrogen, take off. Get some fish, get some meat, off. You see? Drop some passengers there and take off, pick some up and keep going from one to the hop, skip, and jump. Okay, so that's how it works. And it's going to cost you free to fill up, more so, because all the energy is coming from the water power. Okay? And all your computers are going to run on hydrogen power, more so free power once the turbines are up. It's all profit after that. And just maintenance easier, made the bridge so that everything can come to pieces in a day and replace the big turbine. Comes out in 1 day and the new one goes straight in. You know, up, out, in. Okay, quick. It's quicker to pull the whole thing out and stick one straight in and take it back to China and redo it, pull it all bits and put it back in. Now, easy peasy. Okay, that's number 2 is Cindy Kiro, the Governor-General of New Zealand, the Maori Japanese from Ngāti Hine, that's putting a Japanese Maori flag on a British ship, for goodness sake. What's that all about? Putting a Japanese Maori flag on a British ship mast. And if you went to Japan and put a Maori flag on there, guess what's going to happen to you?
Yes.
You know what's going to happen? They got sharp swords over there. They got sharp edges on them. And you know what they're going to do? Kick your ass. So there, that's Cindy Kiro and her as the second criminal list, criminal, not, I wouldn't say defendant, I say criminal, fraudster, criminal fraudster. And number 3 is Jacinda Ardern of Wellington, Cindy Kiro of Ngāti Hine up north. That's where her family is, and that's where she gets served the notice or picked up. And I'm expecting Gregory to pick her up and lock her up, just like a normal person gets picked up and locked up, as if they're a criminal. And we're calling them swamp rat criminals. I put it over there. I'll put those photos up. I'll show you afterwards. I'll show you the photos of what a criminal rat looks like. Okay, you got Cindy Kiro then, number 3, Jacinda Dern of Wellington. Okay, she lives in Christchurch. I think she works in the university job there, and she's run away to Iceland. She's run away. She's gone into hiding. Okay, so somebody has to go over there and get her and bring her up to court, or she's in court today. Absence is acquiescence, and as absence clause will put you into a contract with us here today from the last court hearings we've had on you. Multiple court hearings, okay? Multiple court hearings, and you just ignored them. Not this time. Not this time. You got contractors coming after you with these pound notes. Okay, number 4 is James Pierce Brown, the owner, proprietor of Cook Street in Auckland City. That's been 2008 when me and Moai Manukau started that case. And Bailey's Real Estate, John and David Bailey, has got a writ warrant on their head to lose all Bailey's business. I warned them with one of these books. I put one of these books together for them, and I warned them, don't you sell Cook Street, otherwise you're going to get a writ warrant like this one that's going on Cook Street. Once Cook Street gets one of these, guess what? Every other corporate rat will get one. And that's where the money is, stolen off you and spun around on the stock market and the banks. Okay, so that's James Pierce Brown, the one that got the police on me and thrown into prison and thrown in a mental home. That's one of the ones that did it. And Simon Brent Roundtree, the other owner of their properties, worth 10 billion or so plus, and properties on the waterfront. We're going to seize the whole lot. And the car parks here, Wellington, everywhere, they've got those properties. I warned them enough times. This time is the end. There's no limitation on this, because I'm rolling it over today as a new date for you to try and refute. You never can refute it, because I had video affidavits like this one on your head. And now we're going to make it real. And Gregory Cook will come and finish the job off that he went there to get, and get paid for it too. Okay? We make the rules under the British rule system of contractors. Okay, we're going under their pay system, and everybody's going to be under the accountants in Southland. Okay, I'll find one, no problem. I'll put out the ad in the will. Anywhere in the world, somebody can do that job and don't mind coming to Milford to live with us. Okay, anybody, anywhere in the world that has banking experience, honest, and into conservation, and won't up and die on us, and young enough, say 40, 50, that's enough, that's got skills and ready to go, or someone trained up to take the bank. We need you to come and apply for the job when we get this writ warrant sorted and the title to the land and the lease money returned. Okay, and the property. I don't want the money. I want what he has bought with the money and all his property forfeited. Okay, he's going to forfeit all the property in Hamilton, down the line in Taupo, down in Kinloch, down there, where he showed me all the properties, and in Queenstown, Mount Maunganui, and also in other parts of the country here, and all those properties and shopping malls and expensive properties in all over Australia. All those properties, seize all those properties with this writ warrant here. Okay, there's 11 writ warrants, one for each entity. Okay,
yeah,
each entity, and it's signed, ready to go. Okay, so there it was done with my crew and Widemu Hey. Okay, one chief fits the whole documents. That's all I wanted. Didn't need the whole tribe because their minds were somewhere else. They had their own plans. We get your own money. You go after your own money, all the rest of you, because to come into this court, you'd need to get your ID and your DNA, because I'm going to find out if you're a humbug name or a true name. I know all the humbug names, and my daughter knows too, because she's in the lands, birth, death, and marriage in Manukau. She knows who's who in all the names in this country, and she'll know which ones are real and which ones are not.
Yeah.
So there, don't fool around with matrons because they're lethal. They know what they're doing, and I don't want to make a mess of their business. Okay, I'm there to work alongside them with their instruments that I use, their brains and their skills and their craft. Their craft, that's what the word they use for their craft is, means of plans of how they weave their magic business skills. Okay, there. Number 5 was Simon Brent Roundtree, Cook Street Proprietors. And where's number 7? Number 7 is somewhere here. Not that one. Where did I have it? 2. Let's zoom court. Oh, that's all I wanted, just those ones. Those ones were the main ones. That's enough for a start. We don't want to get too far ahead. So there, those are the main ones we're going after to kick us off. Number 6 was Chris Hipkins. This is the guy who said, it's your choice when he mandated you to take the jab, but then he turned around and said, was your choice to take it? No, Chris Hipkins, you forced them to take it, and you forced them off their job and off flying, off doing things, and took their rights away from them. You're going to pay for that, Chris Hipkins, because I've watched it all. I watched your mouth moving, and just like Jacinda Ardern's mouth moving and saying things that hurt people. You hurt a lot of people, Chris Hipkins, and all of you there that are selling crypto, crooked crypto, and making money out of it for your own pocket, because your law legislated the Act of 2023, Masons Property Trust Act, to allow you, and Scotland did the same legislation through their government and your government, to make your own private corporation company to have shareholding and all the money you make from your own crypto put in your pocket. And that's a conflict of interest. You're a person of interest, Chris Hipkins. I'm calling all of you persons of interest to the police. Okay, Greg, you hear what I'm saying? These people I'm saying are a person of interest against what Trump is saying. Swamp rats and embezzlers and crooked fraudsters. Okay? They're in a gang to fleece you of your money and fleece you of your health and your right to be on these lands. Okay? So all those people who've been hurt and died and are compensated with less than what it's worth, and being compensated for land stolen, like Maori land stolen and settled in treaty claims less than 1% of what was stolen. Where's the 99%? That's whose pocket has it gone into. That's why I've got 970 million trillion on your head to recover all that you stole, the gold, the silver, the minerals, the business, the babies, the everything, the resources, the land, the titles to certain things and property and offshore investments that people have lost because of your gambling habits, your bad gambling habits on the stock market, to make money for your self-interest. Like Eddie Mitchell, he's the first corporate thief caught out. You know what Eddie Mitchell did as a property developer? he used a Freemason and a barrister to fleece you of your rights to the money he stole. And I was there to administer the money to go back in your pockets of native landowners, landlords, and him and the Freemason from Hamilton and the barrister from Hamilton libel who libeled all the judiciary system, the courts, the banks, they libel even the Freemasons. So the Freemasons are responsible for the debt too. Okay? I'm placing the debt squarely on one of your corporate criminals. One criminal, and all the other criminals are doing exactly the same as Eddie Mitchell. You're all doing the same, and we're caught one square and fair out. And he has identified himself to you and not defending himself for over a year now. His photo has been up and exposed, disclosed, fully disclosed. Nothing to see here for a court, a judge, and a lawyer to try and defend them. He's on his own because the nominees that he used in Australia for the 17 trillion, they all took off and left them by himself. And so he put his own name on all those companies. That's why they were registered in nominee lawyers and other people that he contracted to put their names on the title and his name last. Now they said, no, it's fraud, you are money laundering, and we don't want anything to do with it. So they took off and left them on his own. So he put his own name on it to see if he can get away with it, with the barrister and the Freemason. So trust, I'm telling you, when you got a court power like this court and a flag like this, no one gets away with it. Not even a trust. Not even private business trust. The trust is answerable to the director, CEO, owner running the scam. Okay? Every corporation has got a CEO director picking up the money. Huh?
Yeah.
You get one, you get the lot. That's what this court is about today. To add up all the affidavits, the written ones and the video ones. The video ones are best because your lips are moving. When you talk, it is something someone else has to do the same and talk to save themselves from prosecution. You are prosecuted. You people that have called your names out, you are prosecuted on the spot. And it's a half an hour case. Finished. It's all over. And you have to refute it within 7 hours or 7 days. And here you've gone right over the time limit. It's been rolling over and over, and you just ignored it. The more you ignored it, the worse it got for you. Okay, I'm just rolling it around and round and round, and it's everybody's seen it. The judge will say, why didn't you do something about it, Eddie? Why didn't you do something about it, Eddie Mitchell and Alfred Mitchell? You saw me there, Alfred Mitchell. Why didn't you say to me, take your photo off? Because you know what? It's never, ever coming off. It's going to be there haunting you for the rest of your life for transferring the Maori land into Eddie Mitchell, your brother, and the Dockland. You did the same too, transferred it with your little pea brain. Okay, I saw you doing it because I was living with you in your shed there at your brother's place, your father's place. Okay? You're going to have to own up, Alfred Mitchell, about Kira Waikato Wharehere Manukau being a woman. You said he's a woman, and that's when I turned on you, when I said, no, it's a man. You have a look at the photo. Tell me, is that a woman? Kira Waikato standing beside Hongi Hika. Is that a woman? Ask yourself, anybody in Ngāpuhi or anywhere in this country, does that look like a woman to you? Because Alfred and all the Tainui people and the Ngāpuhi people say it's a woman. I got that one for you. in the front of this court today. Just to repeat what I'm saying all the time. I keep saying it. He's and that Maungatautari mountain is his mountain that got stolen by you people there, Maniapoto and Tainui. I'm telling you because I know all about it. I know it back to front. I know the Moriori, Turu, and Pataparai too. The whole lot of it is up here. Mohi Manukau is right here with me. I can't get rid of him. I want to get rid of it. And so I can fill it up with something technical where I should be on that project, not this project. I want to clean this out of the way, get the land titles sorted, then off into the business. Okay? The Freemasons business. And Trump to clean the swamp up because I don't like what he's doing with Israel. I don't like Israel killing little children and stealing land with this admiralty law abuse. Anybody playing with this admiralty law is going to get the gun from this court. What I mean gun, legal gun. If you can do better with contract law of admiralty, then I want to see what you're going to do about this court, which your name goes in there. Anybody playing with this court that is threat to it, that is trying to shut it down and try and put something better there, you got this writ warrant that's been sitting there, simmering away, ready to pounce on the first criminal rat playing around with Mason stuff. You know, I'm not a Mason, but I'm doing Mason work on behalf of Mohi Manukau, 50-year Mason. It's in my blood. The Rogans married the Manukaus, and the Rogans married the Wānoa. Work that one out. That Judge John Rogan is in my brain. I've been brought up with it. And the Cosgrove lawyers is in my blood too. They are the lawyers and the Governor Generals of Australia. The Cosgrove. It's in my blood. The Governor General in Australia. There. If that's not enough, you want to know some more? That's what up there. Atua. Not Io, Atua. That Atua. Now, Atua e wā Aotea Limited Company. And Ngāti Whā Atua. That was its original name of Ngāti Whātua. Ngāti Whā Atua. Moriori and Manukau title. I was putting that incorporation together. And the Ngāti Whātua people split it into Ngāti Whātua and took out the Atua. And made Whātua instead of Atua. See? And then the Ratana Church grabbed Mohi Manukau and put it into Ratana Church and collected the money, the fiscal envelope, to use the Manukau, Referefa Manukau Native Land Act 1862. All that land from the East Coast to the West Coast. Referefa Manukau. Native Land Act. That's we had in Te Waka Marae in Epsom. That's where I put that together. I put that all together with Mohi Manukau to get Cook Street. And they just went with Sir Gafro. He's not even a real Gafro. He's from the South Island, Ashburton. And they got sucked into it, the people up there. The Ngāti Whātua is our tribe put together by with Wellington Parliament. And they created Ngāti Whātua tribe, the government in Wellington, the Crown of New Zealand. All those Governor Generals, from Sylvia Cartwright to Jeffrey Palmer to Anand Satnam to the present one. See? They put it as Jenny Shipley. All those crooks, they're crooks. They're swamp rats. All of them, like Trump said, swamp rat. Written all over their face. Yeah, we got them in this court today. We got them in this court in a 6-year limitation clause. Is now 1-day clause today. It's cancelled the 6-year limitation clause into 1 day. Today, from all the years gone past, all those affidavits, the sum of all affidavits equals 1 affidavit. It can prove it. In each care act, claim of right. Right? Scottish right. Okay, that's that. Right, now we come to number 7, Ashley Bloomfield. He ran away. He's the other jab one. All those jab ones. Chris Hipkins, Ashley Bloomfield, Jacinta Ardern. Those 3 were the worst ones that murdered the people, innocent people, murdered them. They murdered them. And I'm having them up for grand murder. Okay? And the last one, the Waitangi National Trust. And all those ones, I got a court hearing for them. All their names and their photos are in their own court case. But I'm just putting them on notice today. As number 8 is the Waitangi National Trust. All of them. All of them. All their names are there. And their photos. Their photos are all in this court. I put them in the hands of court hearings with Andy Devine. And by ourselves as well. See? It's been online to the whole world watching. And people are watching, but not saying anything because we can hang it off as long as we want till we're ready to clobber them when the flag wakes up. When the flag wakes up, everybody wakes up with the flag. It's just flag. It's just.
Oh, I like that one.
You see? It's woken up. And
yes.
It's going to do its job. It's going to do its job. It's got free passage through the will. It can trade with the will. It's a bank flag. It's a mortgage flag. Worst of all, it's a war flag on anybody that gets in the road of a contract between here and Britain. Britain's going back to its old self, put it that way, because of this flag. That's all they wanted. This flag as a king's court. And you've got the other government, it's a state government, it's a queen's court. That's why the Queen is still in the court over here with the Maori chief. They can't put Charlie up there because he's a paedophile. And they can't put William up there because he's not a Church of England. He is an antichrist. He's not a religious man. Pretty face, pretty cake, but dirty Satan. Pretty on the outside, ugly on the inside. Yeah, that's it. I'm saying that because I know. That's what my own version is. You got your own version about that. It's your choice. Just like Hipkins says, it's your choice whether you like a pretty face or Satan. The same, 2 of them are the same. Satan and a pretty face is what an antichrist is. Just like Israel. Ill. That's all they know, how to use admiralty law to conquer someone's religion, someone's country, someone's family, someone's existence, someone's heritage, someone's kids, someone's new generation are gone, wiped out. You know what they're doing? They're wiping out all the native countries' bloodlines and their religion and their own next generation, DNA. They're wiping your DNA out and putting the Muslims there in their place. Okay? Muslim, you can live here, but if you play up under those circumstances, rules, you have to go home. Like Trump is sending all the people home who break the laws. You can stay here, but if you break these laws, these ones in this book, you got to go home and take your religion back home and your mosque back home, because this, you know what you said to us? Maraes are car parks. How dare you say that? And then walk on our marae to Tii Marae in front of everybody and claim to be in the place of the Taumata. And as if it's a car park. With Taumata. You too, Taumata. You got this writ warrant on your head today because I'm just about to put your name down. Number 9. Taumata. You got your name down already here. I'm going to say it out soon because Gregory's got his little list out too. I'm going to say his list too because he's got issues of these people, and I'm going to put their names down because he said he wants them in the court. But the court is going to decide about that integrity of those people. So we want to see what they're going to say to the court. You see, because your names are down today because Gregory has made a complaint. And all the other ones that are named here, there's one of them at least has made a complaint to the court. We have to decide on that. That's Michelle Coco. Your name is here on Gregory's list of court list of offenders. That's his complaint, not mine, not the court's complaint. He's bringing it into the court, this court, not Jenny's court, this court. She has no authority of land ownership. You've got to own the land before you start putting writ warrants out. Because this writ warrant here will go on your head if you've got writ warrants that are threatening these writ warrants. Do not, under any circumstance, threaten these writ warrants because this will land on your head and you'll have your photo in this court. Do not ever have your photo in here because it is going to stay there forever. You'll never get it off. And saw people saying things like, oh, it's a joke. Those people will say a joke. If I know who it is, I'll put your photo up there and then see how long you're going to take it off. See how long you take. If the Prime Minister and Eddie Mitchell and Alfred Mitchell won't come to the court and plead that their name shouldn't be there and their photo to tell me to take it off, and the Crown itself, the government, with their photos that I had there that I got told to pull it down, the Taumata didn't say to turn it down, the police didn't say to pull it down, Greg Cook said to take it down. So you know what I did? I turned a blind eye and took them down because Greggy wanted them down, because the Navy might have told him to tell me to turn it down because I don't know who told him. So, and then when he told me off in front of everybody of the Taumata, he told me to put my camera down. That's not his place to tell me to put the camera down. The Taumata didn't put it down, tell me to take it down. And Hama didn't tell me to take the camera and stop filming. And anybody else there know what I do online didn't tell me to put the camera away because that's proof. That is evidence for that whakamininga because I was there. I was there for the whakamininga. I'm there for the whakamininga too with what I'm doing with that flag. You might think I'm not, but I am there. I'm in the whakamininga. I'm with the whakamininga from Nicoll Ridge and Kaio. And they know that too. They all know that in Ngāpuhi, that I've been there. I don't talk Maori, but I know what they're talking about. I know what I'm doing in plain English. There's plenty of people who talk Maori. They can talk Maori instead of me. We got people who talk Maori. And Hitarangi can talk Maori for me from East Island. So there, he's going to talk Maori. And I don't have to because I got enough things to do in English. So there, we've got Gregory's list now. This is his list. I'm going to say it, he said, it's on the low scale, right? And that's what he's saying. It's on the low end scale of a native court. At least he asked the native court of his complaint, just like anybody else has the chance to do that too. I've had 2 or 3 come in and put complaints in as well as Paul from the bus that he was there with the little white crosses for the kids that got killed in vaccinations, all that sort of stuff. I don't want to talk about that subject because he's the one that probably will be taking the policy for that stuff and not me. So he is a likely candidate for that. So, but there's always other people who can leap up and take that position as well. So he's got plenty of experience at being a victim himself, which would be the better candidate for someone of state abuse, okay, state care abuse. He was one Ellis state care, and so he knows how he got treated and all that sort of thing. I don't want to know. He can look after that and all those people that have gone through the same trauma, and we got the funding to cover all that to get them back into shape, and all those people suffering and sleeping in cars on the road and no place to go, we will cater for that as well, and make sure they've got a shelter to go to and somewhere they can live comfortably with their own marae. If in any case, we can get that all sorted out for them too as well. A new marae, somewhere they can all communicate and share. Okay, the word is share and live in harmony of cooperatives, not in corporations, but cooperatives where they own everything they live with. Okay, now we've got this list of Gregory Cook. Michelle Coco, Michael Harris, John Dillon, Tipo, Nireta, Tanya Ramaka, Jason Henderson, and that's his list. Then you have issues with him, and you'll have to defend yourself in this court. Tell me what the problem was, so I get both sides to it and pass it on to the appropriate person with the portfolio to look after that. Remember, I've got 87 portfolios to put together for 87 Facebook sites. Facebook is accepted evidence in a court of law as acceptable evidence, right? It's acceptable evidence. Facebook as being graphic or live appearances or information. Okay, that's that. And I've got no qualms about what Greg is saying because he got a bit upset with people. So that's for us to sort something for both sides. Okay, not so much one side, but both sides I need to know, and our group here needs to know. So that is what I wanted to do today. It wraps that up. I just got a couple of notes here. I'm just saying this is how we run our court. Straight up and no humbug or no animosity or no one-sided affair, just straight facts, and you have to defend what I'm saying with your lips moving. If you don't come online with a video of a reply, then it stays as law and can't be entertained anymore. It's at a close. When it's passed through this government and it becomes law, then you can't go and revisit it. It is finished and done. Okay, so that's how quick a native court acts. It's done on the spot the same day. That you're either right or you're wrong. And I'm just saying whatever I say, and you have to prove me wrong. If you have any issues, then you have to come face to face in front of the court. So there, I'm just saying these documents are legal. They are legal, and because now they're signed, ready to take to Westminster. And here's Cindy Kiro here. We've got multiple cases against her and her flag here, flying up here on the pole, here, there. It's there. It's hard to see. It's that small that you can't see it properly. I've got an arrow pointing to it at Waitangi. You see? She strapped another flagpole to a flagpole or ship mast. She strapped another mast to a British ship mast with a Japanese Maori flag. Well, more so a Japanese flag in her Japanese eyes. You see?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, and there's Tamaiti. He has takahied on the mana of Ngāpuhi by bringing in the Muslim and entertaining them and painting all over my partner's flag, the British flag. He painted and degraded it and abused it and painted over, and he's going to sell it for 500,000 on the auction as a prize piece. You know what? You're getting £1 trillion for doing that, Tamaichi, for doing that to my business partner's flag. Okay, they got you on this land in the first place. It'll get you off the land if we say so. You're going back home to Aussie. Your Abo and your Pigeon Maori voice can go back home. And that's what I'm saying. And I've got to get a vote of 4 to decide to deport you under Trump's Deportation Act of his executive orders for doing this and degrading, defacing the British flag. You don't do that. That's treason. You led people over the bridge to the treaty grounds. That's not your land. Who told you you can do that? Who told you you can come onto the marae and taka here on the mana of Ngāpuhi and me? I've got more right to that bloody land than you. And one of your cousins here on our board is Pare. She's from there, and I don't think that she was happy about what you were doing and your people in Tuai. I saw you in prison when you got locked up for shooting a shotgun into the flag on the ground. That's how bad your attitude is towards British. Anybody that does anything to the British flag or anybody's flag is a sign of treason. You know what Trump said about treason? You get the death penalty for treason. And that's getting close to it. You see, there's Michelle there, but she's got a job to get herself back out of what she did to Greg and what Greg did to her. One of them is going against the other. She wanted a court order against Greg, and Greg's got a court order against her. So that's infighting that I don't like to see. That on my way to England. I don't want that coming to England with us. Not going to happen. I'm going there because I went there to put the flag up and ended up in prison and ended up in a mental home for doing due diligence to put that flag up. So I'm taking that flag myself on behalf of Ngāpuhi to put their flag up. I'm saying Ngāpuhi were the ones that were given the flag. So I'm going there on behalf of Ngāpuhi, and nobody else is going to stop me, right? You need a bullet in my head to stop me doing the job that should have been done way back in 2012 when I went there in 2017, after 2012 Cook Street, 2008. A big, long story back to 1985 when Moai Manukau put the Confederation of United Tribes together in Helensville with me. And still remains that was that wooden one in the paddock with Ngāti Whā Atua on it. Ngāti Whā Atua, not Ngāti Whā Atua. That's cut in half. They cut Maori names in half. These mischiefs. Okay, cut Maori names in half and bugger up the whakapapa. They bugger up the whakapapa on Hikarangi. And there's a problem because Tangaroa's name is in the list too. His name is in the list as one of the people on Greg's list that is a complaint. And that's between him and Tangaroa. I didn't have any complaint against Tangaroa, but anybody coming into court with a complaint, I must deal with it. Why did Gregory have a complaint against Tangaroa? I don't want to know anything else other than complaints, because we'll deal with it fairly, like what Trump said, fair trial.
Yeah.
Fair trial. And both sides. Story, so we can decide. It's not about me, it's about the court makes the decisions, not me on my own. I'm not here to feather my nest or make a big head out of what I'm doing. I'm here because I was told to do this job by Moai Manukau and the other chiefs, Machi Tarawa and Inouye McKinnon and Graham Fain and all those people in the Confederation back then, right? And Nuki Ulrich and all those that I can't think of their names at the moment. Okay, and I still keep my promise to them. I keep my promise to Ngāpuhi. I keep my promise to the Utitongas. Hare Utitongas, another one. And he was very much in there, and I was his power of attorney on the TB3 blocks. I've got all those titles with who's on the block. And the Takimona, George Takimona, he's at the back there with Ben Williams, and I've got all their titles, the Utitonga titles, but Morris Baker frogged them and chucked them away, and Alex Kite is going to try and recover them for me, the Utitonga titles, to one house in the whole of the Bay of Islands. Okay, one title house on the whole of the Bay of Islands, and that is saying something. That the Utitongas, the Williams family, took over the Utitonga title and put their bishops from Australia over their land. Okay, I know all about that, and all those Confederation fellows were putting their land titles together, native titles together with Moai Manukau. I know I lived in their homes with them. I lived at Moai Manukau's brother, Te Tana Manukau, in Rata Street, up the road from in the 10-acre block. That's why I know all about 10-acre block. I know because I drew it all up, and I found all the titles in the Kaipara area. I know which title's which, and where all the bodies are buried, where they got shot to bits by the Ngāpuhi and the British Crown, shot the Manukau families, all their families to bits, and buried them on the side of the road. Okay, I know where the graves are, all the way down to Wanganui. I know where they are, been there, right beside all those graves. I can go because I filmed them with my video camera movie. Right, they're in my old computer that Morris Baker threw in the rubbish. Right, all those videos are gone. All the stuff that Morris Baker kicked me off his land because Ngāti Kawa and Hama at Tii Marae kicked me off the marae, and Morris Baker took me to his house, which was the first Ratana church house, old house in Tahiki in Hokianga. And I stayed in the church right where the pulpit is, right there, my bed was right there on top of the pulpit. Right? You can feel that in there, sleeping there with the cat. I know. I got those memories. And the courthouse is still in Rawene. The native court is still standing. And it's still part of Horitikuri of Tii Marae on top of the hill. Okay, I know all that Ramaka and all that history I've got still in my brain. I still want to get rid of it and put nice stuff in there to replace it and have the rest of my life in peace and tranquility in the sounds in Fiordland. Okay, so there, that's all. I've been through everything I want to say today. And once again, we've got our court hearing wrapped up today from Waitangi to Tii Marae. The other half of my presentation at to Tii Marae to say that I was there to take the 17 trillion to help to recover it, and no one was interested in the money. They were only interested in land and whakapapa. So they're missed out on it, but they're not missed out on it. It's just I have to figure out what are they going to be left with next year when that flag goes up. What are they going to do for the next Waitangi Day? It won't be the same looking as it is there. I know I've got some good plans for that, but I'm not going to talk about it because it's not my place to talk about Ngāpuhi and their marae. That's up to them. When the flag goes up, that's up to them to decide where they're going. Okay, I'm just there for the Moai Powerhouse Bank to dish the money up. That's Eddie's pinched and others that have pinched it as well. The corporations on the Queen's side and now on Charlie's, and now he's gone. He's abdicated and passed his crown to William. And William has got that big green pound note on his head. It's on his head and all his followers. They're all in the same debt-ridden boat. Okay? They've libeled, Eddie Mitchell has libeled the whole lot of them. And even those money laundering companies like Comply Advantage in Singapore have turned me down. You'll see the videos on my site, me talking to them, and they can't help me to capture Eddie Mitchell. He's been covered up all the way through by the government, the police, the military, the money laundering companies, the money lawyers in Australia, the people who are harboring them in the Masons, the, the lawyers, the judges, the courts, the banks, they're all covering him up because if he gets caught, they'll all get caught. One gets caught, the whole pyramid is going to drop like a bombshell, and the house of cards will crumble. That's how you do it. If you want to get justice when there's no justice, you make your own justice up by putting the mirror that way on them, because they put the mirror on you to get your information to stack against you, to pinch your money and your inheritance and your land, your children, everything. So you put the mirrors back the other way and switch it around. And get one, get all. Okay, the same situation has come to light. People wake up, they'll see where the answer is. The answer was in my bed, right here. I took it to Waitangi, and they just looked and didn't know this was the solution. And William wanted to put a motion up on the floor, and nobody was interested. This was the motion that he was going to do, and sign this motion by himself. Good on you, William. You had the guts to do something positive, and it worked. You shifted a mountain, mate. You shifted a mountain because you listen. You listen to logic and common sense. That's all. You know, there's something simple. It's not complicated. The land is between the money and the jacket. The Mason jacket up the top.
Yep.
Take that off, throw it away, and there's the money, then the land. That's all my presentation is today. The money or the bag. You want an empty bag? Then that's that. But we just want to clear things up to make certain that we went there with a purpose, and we've completed our purpose today. And the balls in Gregory's court and any other debt collectors out there, give me a call and get some of the contract onto you, because there's a long, long list of names and photos here. And Helen Clark's whole parliament, all their photos are in there too, but they are still charged, because what we're doing is racking up the bill in the trillions against those trillionaires that, like BlackRock and Vanguard and all those corporate thieves that are raking tax off everybody and putting it in their pocket. Right? We got the answer for them. Rack the bill up against every corporate, stick the trillion on them, and give them an opportunity to respond. If they don't respond and do something about it, then 3 strikes is out. That becomes law. It becomes law today. If we don't refute this within the next 7 days, then it becomes law. I'm just saying 7 days to give you exactly 7 days to do something about what I'm saying on this video. So if you've got an affidavit video, you better put something together, because your evidence and your lips moving is your evidence on your 2 feet as your own competent witness without a lawyer. So you have to know more than a lawyer, more than a property developer, more than a judge, more than a politician, more than a prime minister, and more than anything we say. I'll give you that opportunity. I'll give you only 7 days grace to come up with something to get your name off this list. You've got to come up and do it, because that's how Trump's law works from now on. Under his executive orders, that has reversed all your jab, all your corporate thuggery. He's wiped it out. And he's wiped your laws here out at the same time, because we're implementing his laws. That's him and us protecting the rights of people who can't help themselves. There we are. That's all. Thank you very much, Brian Workman.
Beautiful.
You got something to say?
You did well, bro. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
So that's all. I'll give you a chance to say something in response to what I just said, because it's on the record. It's on
Right.
a record of law in the High Court of Admiralty in London and in the Supreme Court of Appeal against any decisions we make here. You have to go to the Supreme Court. They'll kick you back into the High Court if you want to make claims of compensation. And we don't talk about the word compensation. We only talk about liquidation, not compensation, liquidation and foreclosure and bankruptcy for any pirate thugs out there and murderers and people who create and commit treason. Yeah. So, and Polly, you want to say something?
No.
No, nothing for Polly.
Kappa anyway, John. You've done
Okay.
really well.
Yeah. No, that's how we do our court, swift and no mess, and give people a chance to respond. This is from Waitangi. This is what I wanted to talk about at Waitangi. Would have made some big steps ahead. It would have got a resolution on the floor. It would have got a motion on the floor. And Willamu had a motion. I saw him say, let's move a motion to get the flag up. So in the goodness of what he does about flags, Gregory is responsible. We thank him for getting the communications with the Navy and the British Navy or the Crown there to acknowledge our flag as the flag of New Zealand, and not a fake flag or a counterfeit flag or a foreign government, corporation, private company flag. So, and a threat flag on our flag. That's been there for years. And I'm just saying to the people that are waving the flag around, it has woken up for you, and it's going to do a lot of good for you. And we get it right doing its thing from now on. It's going to be legislated and gazetted back up on the British ship mast, on the treaty grounds, dry land flag, back as the flag of New Zealand. And the country's name is New Zealand. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And it's up to the people to want to have it the same name as it was given by the Dutchman. King William III of Orange, Dutchman. The other ones are German. That's okay. But I'm saying the Dutchman did us good. And the Dutchmen are putting the tidal turbine project together for me in Denmark. Okay, so that's another plus and another great opportunity of the Masons helping us to achieve a beautiful business and a beautiful place to do it in the South Island. That's why I feel happy about going to my new home, and I can have something I like for dinner. Oh, I like it over here, though, but I like it over here. We can go there and we can come back and go backwards and forwards. And we've already got plans for that, so that we keep in harmony with each other down there and here, and go both ways. Go everywhere and make sure we're there for the community. That's what nations are all about. Community and of togetherness, with no one higher than the other, but just an effort to share and get on with each other. and make a business work. That's what they're there for, to make a business better than what it is. That's their motto. Make something better than what it is. Not something great again, because it was right in the first place. It just got messed up. It just wants to make it better than it is. That's what their motto is. Better than it is. Not make something new, because it's still old history there. We want to keep the history intact and our kids' generation intact, and not have invaders or people come and tell us how to live. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else got a thing or two? Or then I can go and eat my chocolate over here. My chocolate. It's a look of chocolate fish.
That's the one.
And go and put some more weight on, because I need to weight to run around the place with some weight on. Okay, people that are watching us, I hope you have got something out of what we're saying, and we're collectively saying something good. And thanks to viewership, and thank the positive response we've been getting. And we've got Michael Fain coming to see me and the Pare this Monday or Tuesday, and he was filming around Waitangi and putting a lot of things together. He wants to come down here to do 2 or 3 hour documentary with me about what I'm talking about today, and to make a count of what I thought about Waitangi. Okay? And how Waitangi can be great again and make the flag work for us and look pretty. It's pretty flying up on the pole than around the street. Yep. Let's have the flag flying in the right place and in places where we want it to stay in one place and not fly around on the cars on the road, but stand on the land. Right? No more protesting with the flag. It's going to be fixed in one place. Okay? That's a parting note. We can go and have dinner and think about what we're going to do next. And I'm looking forward to Jason Hogarth and talking to him again. And watch our sites, watch our Facebook site, the Moai Powerhouse Bank, and also the Moai construction company that Jason is looking after down in Milford's house. Okay? Okay, bye for now. It's now 6 o'clock, I think. 4 minutes past 6. Okay, thank you very much. See you later. Thank you.
Let's go to class.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Love you all.
Okay.
David. Well done.
Okay, bye-bye. Turn off now.
Yeah, okay. Where are we?
In the for all.